What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Impact Wrestling's Emergence for August the 27th, 2023 is officially in the books. The show itself was okay to alright, if we are being honest. For me, I was only interested in 3 matches, so it was just a 3-match card for me, if we're being honest. Everything else on the show I didn't really care too much about, if we're being honest. So we kicked things off with the pre-show. Mike Bailey defeated Alan Angels, and Yuya Uemura and Joe Hendry defeated the Good Hands, and they have a new tag name, which is Joya. I'm just like, what the fuck? And they got a holy shit chant during the pre-show when they did their little dance routine. I'm like, oh my god, oof. What the hell? Moving on to the main card. First match of the night, Eric Young versus Diener. No DQ match. Who really cares? No DQ matches, they're no different than Monster Ball matches and Full Metal Mayhem matches, as well as no holds barred matches. They're all the same in my opinion. They put out everything in this match, from ladders, steel chairs, staple guns, baking sheets. There's one point in the match where Diener stapled Eric Young's fingers and armpit. I'm just like, what the fuck? So in the end, Eric Young gets the win via the pile driver on the board. A barbed wire from the 1, 2, 3. Who really cares? I don't care about Eric Young or Diener. I just don't. They're good people behind closed doors, I would assume. But as wrestlers, no. I used to like Eric Young, but now I don't. I just don't. He's kind of one-dimensional, if we're being honest. And Diener, same thing. They need to be backstage producers, both of them. It's just time. Moving on. So, Gia Miller is backstage with Joe Hendry and Yuya Uemura. So, Joe Hendry talked about the long road of him and Yuya teaming. Joe Hendry wanted to ask Gia a question, but Yuya took the mic, and Gia had Gia say something in Japanese, and she also said, Joya. I'm just like, what the hell? Oh my god, no. Next, moving on. So, we see footage from the Countdown show of Santino Marella telling Jody Threat to team with Kylan King to replace Taylor Wilde, who supposedly got injured. So this leads us into the Fatal 4-Way for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. MK Ultra, which is Masha Slamovich, Killer Kelly versus Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans, versus the Death Dolls, which is Courtney Rush and Jessica, versus Kylan King and Jody Threat. So MK Ultra, they get the win. I'm glad that my girls get the win. That was great. Made sense, but again, I'm not a fan of multi-person matches. I'm just not. I don't give a shit about it. So that's cool. They got the win. I'm glad my girls won. Where did they go from here? Nobody knows. Moving on. So, Gia Miller, she interviewed Johnny Swinger. She asked if he could win another title 20 years after his last one. Johnny Swinger said he would show everyone what would happen when you aren't held back by Junior, Lanza, and others. He took off his glasses and got more serious. He talked about his uncle, Tony Perazo, who wrestled and gave everything for the sport. He said he would win the title the right way. So this leads us into Kenny King versus Johnny Swinger for the Digital Media Championship. Kenny King gets the win via the Royal Flush. And Sheldon Jean got involved, but he got ejected. And Heath got involved and was able to hit the wake-up call on Kenny King. But Kenny King kicked out, and Kenny King won via the Royal Flush. So it makes sense. Post-match, Kenny King beat down Johnny Swinger. Security came out along with Tommy Dreamer. And then out of nowhere, Kenny King beat the shit out of Tommy Dreamer. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell's going on? That doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is. Moving on. So we get a backstage promo from Josh Alexander, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida. They told their opponents tonight that there's nowhere to run, hide, or escape. Okay. Not really a fan of that. Next, one of the matches I was looking forward to, and it delivered, and that was Subculture, which is Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews with Danny Luna versus the Rascalz, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. The Rascalz get the win. ABC, which is Chris Bay and Ace Austin, they got involved, as well as the Good Hands, they got involved. They had a little brawl between the two teams. And then this allowed for the Rascalz to get the win for the 1, 2, 3. This was great. Loved it. I'm glad my boys won. I'm happy for Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. I'm very happy for them. This is tremendous. Great move by Impact. Really good shit right there. Absolutely tremendous. I would assume that Subculture is going to get a rematch sometime between now and Bound for Glory. So I would assume they'll get a rematch. Maybe at Victory Road. Moving on. So we get a backstage promo with Leo Rush, Brian Myers, Moose, and Bully Ray. Bully Ray said Leo Rush was officially in their group text. Moose said they were the greatest assembly of scumbags. I'm just like, oh my God. Ugh. Next, we got a match that I could do without. And both guys should be backstage producers. And who are those guys, that you might ask? Frankie Gazerian and Eddie Edwards. This was a back-to-school match. And I'm like, oh, no. No. No, 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 no. So this was basically a cinematic match. This was short. It wasn't long. So we see them driving to the wrestling school, looking at pictures. So we see clips of Killer Kowalski. They were shown. Eddie Edwards looked at the pictures too. Eddie walked into the gym, and Gazerian said it hadn't changed much. And then Frankie tried to apologize for hitting Alicia. So, and then Eddie touched the chair, and Cass told not to touch it. Eddie asked how many hours did Kowalski sit in that chair and teach them. Eddie asked if it bothered Cass about the titles he had won. Eddie went to sit down in the chair, and then that's when Cass punched him, and then it got real. So the referee got into the ring, and then I didn't even watch the match. I'm not going to hold you guys up. So Eddie Edwards gets the pin via a distraction by Alicia Edwards. So this was short. This was like 4 minutes, which was great. So post-match, Eddie yelled, "We're done." Eddie touched the chair again. He and Alicia, they kissed each other. And then somber music played as Cass sat in the ring. He looked at a picture of Kowalski Then Alicia hit Kaz with the kendo stick from behind. Eddie yelled that Kaz was a disappointment to Killer Kowalski. Eddie then hit Kaz with a picture of Kowalski, and the glass shattered. So that was pretty cool. This was produced pretty well. So I believe that Delirious produced this. So good job on him for doing it. But again, this is something that I could do without. This could have easily happened on a random episode of Impact, if we're being honest. This didn't need to be on Emergence at all. I'm not going to hold you guys up. Eddie Edwards and Frankie Gazerian both need to be backstage producers. It's time. It's time. Seriously. This isn't 2009 and it's not 2014. Both these guys are past their prime. And to be honest, they're not top guys. Frankie Gazerian is doing low mid-card stuff. Same thing with Eddie Edwards. Seriously. Let's move on from these guys. Same thing with Eric Young and Diener. Have all those guys be backstage producers. Rich Swann included. Sami Callihan included. Like, come on. We need fresh blood in Impact. We need it. Enough. Speaking of fresh blood, we got it. So, next, this leads us into Sonata versus Jake Something. And this was a match that I was down for. And this match delivered. This was great. So, this went kind of long. But Sonata gets the win via the deadfall for the 1-2-3. So, post-match, Sonata and Jake Something, they shook hands after the match. This was great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. This was a trial by fire for Jake Something, and he nailed it. And I hope that Impact rewards him in due time with a shot at the exhibition title or whatever, or build him up to defeat Leo Rush, or whoever's going to be the one to defeat Leo Rush. Probably Chris Sabin. But this is a great showcase for Jake Something. Jake Something needs to be a champion. Seriously. This is the guy that you can build Impact around. I'm not going to hold you guys up. Jake is like, 31, 32? So he's fairly young. And, you know, he's got a really good build. He's pretty decent on the mic. And he's a no nonsense type of guy. But Jake Something is great. And he deserves to be pushed. And Impact definitely needs to push Jake Something. Seriously. He has all the tools to be successful. He does. Moving on. A match that I could do without. This was the 8-man tag, which I didn't really care about. This thing went on for forever. That being Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida, and Josh Alexander versus Moose, Brian Myers, Leo Rush, and Bully Ray. I didn't give a single shit about this match. So basically, PCO came down, he got involved. And he took out, Moose and Brian Myers, and he put Bully through a table. Well, no, Bully and Moose and Brian Myers, they did a shield powerbomb through the table, and PCO just sat right back up and no started. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? This is crazy. Then Steve Maclin, he returned, and he had a little brawl segment with Josh Alexander after there was while there was a long ref bump in the match. And then Maclin went after Alexander's arm. Security broke them up. And then Alex Shelley escaped a spear by Moose. And then he dipped out because Alex Shelley and Josh Alexander, they argued after miscommunication. And then Moose speared Alexander for the 1-2-3. So who cares? This is fine. It makes sense. This basically just sets up multiple feuds, I would assume. It's not really that important. Next, we get a clip of Jordan Grace training, followed by a Victory Road graphic. So, she's back in Impact. She's back in Impact. So I guess Triple H and Vince didn't want her, and Tony Khan didn't want her. So, it is what it is. Again, I don't know where she goes in Impact. I mean, She's done everything. What's left for her to do in Impact? Nothing. She should have, quote unquote, bet on herself and tried WWE or tried to go to AEW. Seriously. Like, she's done everything in Impact. Literally everything. What's left for her to do? Nothing. Except for put people over. I don't know. I don't know. But it's good to see her back. So she'll be at Victory Road. And then the main event, Deonna Purrazzo versus Trinity for the Knockouts World Championship. So Jade Chung was the ring announcer, the guest ring announcer. She introduced Gail Kim, who was on commentary. So, this was a lengthy match. In the end, Trinity gets the win via the code red into Starstruck, and then Deonna Purrazzo tapped out. Post-match, they shook hands and they hugged after the match, and then that was it. I don't know if Deonna is done with Impact or not, but she needs to be, because she's lost to Trinity twice. So you can't do another, you can't continue the feud until Bound for Glory, because she's lost twice. And who's going to be Trinity's next opponent? But another question I have is, what's next for Deonna Purrazzo? And I don't have the answer for that. If I was Deonna Purrazzo, I would try my luck with WWE or try my luck with AEW. But she, like Jordan Grace, has done everything in Impact, and it's not much more she can do. You know? I don't know. I don't know where Trinity goes from here. I don't know where Deonna Purrazzo goes from here. I don't. I really don't. So if I was Deonna, I would really, pack my bags and try to go to WWE or go to AEW. Seriously. I'm not going to hold you guys up. And then, before we went off the air, they showed a graphic of Will Ospreay, and that means he's going to return at Bound for Glory. So he's going to do some stuff with Impact for Bound for Glory, which should be cool. So that's great there. Overall, Emergence itself was okay. There's a lot of stuff I could have done without. I enjoyed the Rascalz becoming the new Impact World Tag Team Champions. Deonna Purrazzo and Trinity 2 was fine. That was good. Did something in Sonata that delivered, but everything else on the show was just missable, and I didn't really care about it. But what did you guys think? Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.